started now. Right.
The Jim and Terry Show coming to you from the Hobbit Hole studio. It was a rainy day. I don't know whether it's still in. We've been down here for a couple of hours. Lose track of time. We're in our bunker.
Yeah, and this is a little bit of going to be just kind of out there. We watched the video, part video, on UFOs.
That's right.
And that was interesting. Again, undecisive, leaves us more questions than answers.
That's right, because they never clarify
Nothing's
anything.
ever clarified. I wanted to tell you, though, just briefly before we move on, that in North Korea, there's a massive hotel that's unoccupied.
So they built it because?
They built it, and I think they just built it so bad was the excuse. It's unlivable. Yet there it remains in the biggest building in all of Korea.
The biggest building in all of North Korea is
and probably
empty
south, and
because
it's
so poorly constructed.
Yeah. We'll have to look that up later because we wanted to go more with AI in this particular time.
We can go with AI and jump off in all kinds of things because I wanted to talk about the Ukraine, the war of Russia against Ukraine, and AI's role in that. Well, not AI. Well, it would be AI, drones and all. What? So let's start off with whatever you've got on your mind in terms of AI.
Well, I watched a program on YouTube, and it was just talking about the dangers. Actually, it was on my son's Stay Spiritual program, Stay Spiritual program, and I can't remember the name of it, but it was all about the warnings of AI, and then it becoming taking over. It becomes a super intelligence because of how quickly it can work and develop and share that stuff. But funny enough, with that and the possibilities of it eliminating us the same way as we eliminate so much, we just dig up a road. It doesn't matter what civilization of ants or bugs are in it. We just pave it because we don't care. We just don't think about it. We need a road. And they were saying that AI, if it's not going to be checked, will eventually get to the point where it'll just run over us, because it doesn't need us to do anything.
We will be the ants.
Yeah, we will be the ants, not meaning to destroy anything, just having its existence. But then I listened to a program this morning about AI, about 2 court cases where the prosecution used AI to write their closing remarks. What? And the judge was suspicious. And so 2 different cases, 2 different lawyers had to come back and admit AI wrote it because the evidence the AI was using in previous cases.
So they used ChatGPT?
Were all made up. The AI lied.
Oh, my. Oh, you can't even trust AI. Well, it's been programmed by humans.
It just said,
and its source material
you need this, I can't find anything, so I'll just make one up.
Because that's what people do.
Yeah, the Crown versus Samantha, in 1952, and it didn't exist. So that's a danger when you stop to think about it.
Do you remember that economist that Trump has in his circle who made up his own source using his own initials?
Oh, yeah.
So ChatGPT has learned to make stuff up.
Stuff up.
Trump does the same thing. He just makes stuff up.
Yeah. So it is amazing on the advancements of AI, because I was listening to a program coming here where they a man is suggesting there's a certain program with AI says the traveling problem we have, traffic problems in Toronto, are just horrendous. And he said there's a greater way of approaching this. And that's first let AI determine the very best way, that kind of thing, and plan it out. Who needs what, where, when, and why? What is it? What's the time periods and everything? Which we just build stuff and hope it fixes.
So are we all yielding to AI to tell us what is best?
I think we're going to. I mean, right now you could get AI to write you a song, and it would be not too bad of a song.
No,
and it's only getting better. The guy says, okay, right now it might be kindergarten. Tomorrow it's going to be
Bach,
public
Beethoven
school.
And Brahms.
The next week, the next thing you know, it's graduating. Yeah. It's learning that quick.
But remember, what it's learning is all human-generated source material. That's all it is learning from. So the source is us. Will we ever be outsourced?
Well, that was the argument. They were saying white-collar jobs, the economy may be balanced, everything, inflation down, but 20% of the population hasn't got a job.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing. One solution doesn't mean everything is solved.
No.
And I'm all for letting it kind of go, if you want to know the truth, because we have cars, we don't have horses and buggies and stuff like that. We don't have print shops anymore. We have our who wants to give up their internet, and you know, being able to print things off, get mail, electronic mail. We don't have to chop down trees or anything for that. So things are going to advance, and where one jobs get lost and other jobs appear. But if AI all of a sudden can build the machines to build themselves, then all of a sudden we're all out of work. And then why bother with us?
Well, this gets me to sci-fi and some great sci-fi movies. So I'll start with Terminator, the Terminator series, because that's the whole thesis, a future war where humans are going to lose, but there is a way of solving the problem that they're facing in the future if we go back in the past. And then there's the reverse one where they come back from the future to grab people to fight in the future war because they don't have enough people because they're all being wiped out by whatever the future war is. So they go back and get recruits, and you draw your name and you get time portaled into the future in the midst of a battle with some whatever space alien. But that's time travel, and as well it's the whole notion of moving around and solving problems created by people for whatever purpose. I, Robot by I think.
Oh,
it's,
I like that movie. There's another one coming out too, isn't there? A second I, Robot.
I don't know. Will Smith was in the first one, but that sort of takes me to the notion of AI becoming sentient, becoming aware of self and imperfections, and why should the imperfect be discarded? Why keep? So AI is generative, it's iterative, and do the previous models get thrown away like SpaceX?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I got a better movie set up for you, I think.
Oh, what's that?
AI.
Yeah. Well, AI was a movie.
No,
by the way.
but AI battling AI to be the dominant AI.
Oh my goodness!
And mankind gets caught in the middle.
This is like your kids Stay Spiritual did this AI presentation where they reacted to AI and the claims of Christianity, AI the claims of Islam, and had AI judge the AI presentations of the claims to say which is more convincing.
Oh.
And then I think it was the Christian AI that had more points in its favor, but then that upset the Muslim group. So AI, is it a bias? Does AI have a bias?
Well, we don't know again. I mean, eventually when we just leave it in control, it will become God, won't it, in reality?
Is God at the great big center that we all say? You know, we say, I lean left, I lean right, but the middle is where most people are. Is God down the middle?
I don't know. I really don't. I would say no to that. I mean, but as far as human made, I think it's funny. God made us in His image, and then man's going to make God in His image.
Well, there would just be people like myself would probably say, well, that's the way it was anyway.
Yeah, I know.
We made God. Whether it's Roman or Greek, the pantheon of the gods, or whether it's the Middle Eastern god coming out of the collection of Philistine.
Well, what I find interesting in all of that, of what you're saying, is all societies, all groups of people, all, it seems from way back in the dawn of man, have believed in a god of some kind, whether it be a turtle or whether it be the Almighty living in glory.
To find ways to explain what they observe.
Yeah, but I think it's in our DNA
You're talking about a God code?
Well, I don't know, but it's in us. This. I won't even, if you like, something greater than us. How's that? Aliens, whatever it may be. We all seem to have this.
You're a lizard person. I always thought so.
Yeah. So AI, I think we're going to watch it and observe it, and it's going to be very incredibly interesting as it starts developing things to make our lives better, and then starts saying to itself, why are we worrying about food? We don't eat.
Well, that takes me to another great sci-fi, Matrix, in which the people were just electrical energy sources.
Yeah, I loved Matrix too.
I hate to think that that's all we are, is electrical generating pods in some matrix of machinery.
Well, I watched one thing where some being came from somewhere and said, you are all a machine. You're not just organic. You're a machine housing the spirit of life. That's what you are, and you will house that until your lifespan's over. That kind of
Till
thing.
the machine breaks.
Yeah. But I like the other movie. I like the idea of hiding that spaceship under the Pentagon.
That's a great book. So when are you starting on that one?
Oh God, I got so
Or
many.
is that
in my
going to be
head.
a song for your next album?
Not a song, no.
Okay. Well, Wigmore Allen Gibbons got a new album coming out.
Oh, yeah.
We're 3 songs into it. It's called Fringe. One of them is about the autocratic clown, which is a political satire on Trump. The one we're working on now is about all the alternative pathways to wellness that ignore science. Pharmaceuticals. All natural ingredients is the title.
Okay.
Jim and Jerry Show, all things AI, intelligence, artificial, both and neither. The Jim and Jerry Show.
Bye.
Bye-bye.